A Nigerian public official is claiming that nearly 350 dead bodies were buried in a mass grave in northern Nigeria after clashes between the army and supporters of a Shiite cleric. Bella Babi Lawal, secretary to the state government in Kaduna, told an inquiry into the December clashes in the northern state that the bodies were taken from an army depot and buried in mass graves. The Nigerian army has previously said the Islamic movement in Nigeria had tried to assassinate its chief of staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, when members of the sect blocked his convoy in the northern city of Zaria in December. The following day, the army raided several buildings connected to the sect. Amnesty International says the claims should be investigated and anyone suspected of wrongdoing put on trial. The Shiite sect has previously said up to 1,000 of its members had been killed.
Our members killed by the Nigerian army should be released to us with immediate effect of burial according to Islamic rite. We call on the government to summon courage and live up to its morality and accept its crime by paying diya to all affected families and relations.
Now, for more perspective, I'm joined via Skype from London by Donatella Rovera, Senior Crisis Response Advisor at Amnesty International. Ms. Rovera, welcome to Africa 54.
Hello.
Now, you've looked at this case. There have been claims over time. Is there any evidence whatsoever that there is a location with mass graves?
Yes, there is a lot of evidence. I was in Nigeria a couple of months ago investigating specifically this incident in which hundreds of supporters of the Islamic movement of Nigeria were killed. And many more were injured. I visited the site of where the main alleged mass grave is in Mando, and there was clear indication of disturbed earth. We also obtained satellite imagery before the date of the killings and then after the date of the alleged burial, and it shows very clearly when there was this, when the earth was disturbed. So what we've seen on the ground is entirely consistent with the existence of a mass grave. We also spoke to many of the survivors, to witnesses from the neighborhood who are not supporters or sympathizers of the Shiite Islamic movement of Nigeria. We spoke to medical personnel, to the director of the hospital in Zaria, who told us that the army had requisitioned the whole area around the mortuary for a 2-day period, and that they had no access, but they could see army vehicles coming and going. We had several other testimony telling us that they had seen piles of bodies around the mortuary in the hospital compound. We spoke to many survivors at the 2 main locations where the protesters were killed, including people who had been injured and who were in these houses and who couldn't move, and then the places were set on fire.
Yes. Yeah.
So it is absolutely scandalous that the Nigerian army for 4 months has been denying that they have killed people. They accepted that they had killed about 7 people at the outset of the clashes, and then just a couple of days ago, they admitted that they buried 347 people in a mass grave. There was absolutely no need to do that. These people have families. Their families have been looking for them for months. So it is absolutely unjustifiable.
So what should be the next move, according to you?
Well, the next move is for any evidence that still exists to be preserved, because the Nigerian army has already destroyed a lot of evidence by burning down and bulldozing the places where people were killed, and then by burying the bodies in a mass grave. So now the mass grave should be exhumed in the presence of the family with the input of professional people, forensic pathologists. obviously, the victims need to be identified. Their loved ones are desperate to know, where the bodies are, and to regain access, to gain access to the bodies so that they can give them a dignified burial. And there should be an investigation beyond the investigation which is ongoing. There should be an investigation specifically on this cover-up that went on for 4 months, where statements that were made by members of the army 4 months ago were quite plainly not telling the truth.
Well, Donatella, thank you very much for your
Thank
insights.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Donatella Rovera is a senior crisis response advisor at Amnesty International.